still says it's not streaming. Ah, finally we get something called excellent. Okay. We get a picture with that. Right, okay, that looks good. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, I was still navigating the new system. I'm sure now because it says excellent. Before it was saying no data, so I'm sorry about that. Alright, so here we are now. The other thing, let me just... Hi Kelly, how are you doing today if you're still here? Just trigger a fake message. Yeah, okay, good, it came up. Alright, should be fine. Okay, now, let's get on with things. Sorry I'm so dithery today. Just, as I said, still navigating the new system on the computer. And it was just so much more simple the other way. I don't know why it had to change. Just really annoying, you know. Anyway. Okay, I'll just put the box back in there. It might be safer. Alright, so today we are here to do the portraits for MewGulf until of July. Of course, we will start with Mew as usual. Firstly, I'll put these cards down. We're going to go through what his Astro cards were. Now, one interesting thing I want to say before anything else about this reading today is that this month, both Mew and Tull have whip and incense burner in their Astro clock cards. They're both trying to, you know, very harshly get rid of something, clear something out of their life. And the way it looked, I remember when I was doing the Astro clock, if you want to go and check it out again, you can. It really was making sense going around the circle that it was talking about getting rid of each other, basically, or at least the situation they're in, the situationship they're in, getting rid of that out of their lives. So yeah, it'll be interesting, not to mention, you know, other previous readings I've done, both that I've shown and that I've done privately, showing that there could very well be something like a separation or a breakup coming up with them, while there's always hope for a reunion with the other two. So yes, anyway, so let's get on with the reading. I'm going to use my computer today. Oh, gosh. I had to do a panic restart just before I started as well to top it all off, so I'm a little behind. Meanings. Go. We'll start with Mew, as usual. So, his cards were whip, incense burner, ship, moon. So first of all, whip, incense burner. Active, sometimes harsh efforts are being made to calm a volatile situation or purge negativity, purifying repetitive behavior. The whip often represents repetitive actions or habits. The burner suggests breaking the cycle through an often ritualistic, spiritual or meditative process, or one of focus, healing through intense work. This combination can represent a rigorous, demanding process of healing or burning off stress, perhaps through intense physical activity like yoga or intense workouts. He's been playing tennis, badminton was the last one, and obviously he's been going to the gym a lot. Or intense focused mental work like deep meditation or therapy. resolving discord. It suggests bringing peace to a situation marked by conflict or arguments, dealing with a high-stress, conflict-ridden job by finding a sense of calm, focusing on a perhaps ritualistic way to handle the pressure, a heated argument or repetitive aggravating issue. Could be that too, a nagging issue that just doesn't let go, such as his connection with golf, that require calm, purposeful, and possibly spiritual communication or a cleansing of the air between people. Dealing with a chronic nagging issue, like I said, nagging issue, through alternative healing, meditation, or say aromatic therapies. In summary, this combo is about managing or resolving intense conflict, stress, or habits through focused, peaceful, or spiritual means. Now, all that was only for whip incense burner, guys. Was only for that combo, so we know we've got a way to go yet. The next one I want to talk about is incense burner ship. So these two, a journey for purification or healing, travel to a retreat center, a spiritual location, or a place where one can meditate and cleanse their spirit, a move to a new place to clear the air, physically relocating to get away from a negative environment or past issues, long-distance cleansing, sending positive energy or performing a cleansing ritual for someone far away, an overseas spiritual practice bringing a spiritual practice like specific incense burning rituals from a distant place or country, or a purification of a vehicle or mode of transport. Then we have whip ship, disagreements over travel plans, arguing about the direction you're heading in, moving away from aggression, discovering conflict, repeated trade jobs overseas. Whip moon, shame, conflict between fears and one's needs, consecutive awards, consecutive recognition, emotional abuse, criticisms that affect you emotionally, obsession, sexual seduction. Incense burner moon, a deep, intentional, and purifying emotional experience. It blends the need for clearing negative energy with the intuitive, reflective nature of the moon, reflective meditation, profound intuition, highlighting emotional depth and enhancing psychic abilities, a need to clear mental confusion or emotional blockages, perhaps suggesting aromatherapy, meditation, or a calming ritual to soothe a troubled mind, taking time for self-care and addressing deep-seated emotional issues through introspective practices. And finally, ship moon, exploring one's intuition, fear of travel or exploration, travel at night, monthly or regular journeys, not holidays, a well-known person from a foreign background. All that is the meanings. Now, what did I get out of it? Well, here I have said, since the cards have hinted trouble in paradise up to now regarding the business partners, perhaps things get a little intense or they strongly disagree about their next regular overseas adventure. Whip ship, that would be due about now if it's every 3 months. Ship moon, regular trip. Or maybe neither is happy with the way work is going for the other. Maybe time spent at work is making the other jealous. Maybe work is taking the focus of one or both of them too much to include a high dose of distraction from reality this time, with moon. Well, let me just pause there for a minute. Do you think Till would be getting jealous of all the attention Mew is getting being with Sunny and not him? It's possible. It's also possible that if Mew really is into Till the way he says he is, or they say they are, then he could be getting jealous of all the time Till is spending away from him at work, because he's going, deep work mode at the moment. I got confirmation from someone that, his dad is really getting him to take the reins now of the family business, so he's got that on top of all the other businesses like the cafe, the matcha, I don't know about the One Skin Clinic. I don't know what's happening with that because they've connected with a hospital now, so it doesn't feel like they're so in control of that anymore. But, of course, the mall, which is like his family project. So he's really focusing on that lately, have we noticed? Yeah. And of course Mew is focused on Sunny, so work. Anyway, continuing, maybe without this distraction, as in going on their 3-month trip, where Tull suddenly gets Mew to snap out of deep thinking about does he really want to be in this situation, and makes him start thinking he's so lucky to be with him and get to travel luxuriously all over the world. Yeah, that. So, what was I saying? Maybe without this distraction, Mew will withdraw from the crowd another way this time, and alone without any influence. One can hope. Whip incense burner. Maybe he will travel to a local province to meditate or be alone with his thoughts. Maybe even just returning home to Mama J for a while and avoiding contact with the other, as in Tull, incense burner ship, which will allow him to connect to his inner child and listen to his own intuition clearly enough to make strong decisions about clearing his life of things and people no longer serving him. Incense burner moon. So opening up to his intuition deep down that knows what's good for him, knows what's best for him, knows where he's meant to be in his life, knows that he's out of alignment and keeps trying to trigger him with red flags and signs from the universe. That's it. Alright, so that's what I said for the Astro clock. That was a long one, wasn't it? Wait till we get to Tull. Alright, let's go on. Let's go on with the reading. So, hang on, let me switch cameras here. So here I am. Alright, so, hello there little decks. So, what is in store for Mew Superset this coming month? Sorry, not this coming month. We're already in it, aren't we? What is in for Mew Superset? Or what is Mew Superset in for the rest of this month of July? Please, little deck. Whoa. First card there. And facing you. What is he in store for regarding golf, regarding his situationship with Tull, if that's what it is, regarding work possibly? Just what is he in for, overview-wise, this month? Please, little deck. Alright, I'll start counting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoop, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so we've already got our center card. Let's add to that. Define cross, fill in the corners. Okay. Alright. There we are. You can see the cards clear enough. So, what is the rest of this month of July centered on for Mew Superset to elaborate on his Astro cards, Whip, Incense Burner, Ship, and Moon? What are we centered on this month? Oh gosh, that's not good. We're centered on clouds. We're centered on confusion. Centered on confusion. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's a good thing. It might be though, because incense burner, sometimes clouds can come up like that. So it all depends. So where does this confusion or lack of clarity or living in the fog start with? Where does it all start? Heart, feelings, relationships, love in general. Okay. And then what about the bottom one here? What does it conclude with? What's the conclusion card? Man. Okay, well, it's confusing for me. Alright, well, clearly it's to do with a relationship with a man. This is either Mew himself or most likely Tull, because Gulf, as you all know, comes up as the woman with my readings. So, often I usually think if the man's not in the middle, it usually is someone else. But if it's Mew himself, it could be that, he desperately needs to get away, like I said in the Astro Clock summary prediction, that he needs to get away and have time to himself to think about these things without any influence around him. If this is more about Tull, then obviously he's confused about how he's truly feeling about the matter. Maybe that intuition is really knocking hard at the moment. Maybe maybe this man is someone else. Maybe, because there's somebody else on the scene now, Sunny. Maybe Sunny is reminding him of someone. Maybe Sunny is triggering the memories more of what he used to do for fan service with somebody else in the past. That could be it. Alright, and what about these other corner cards? Let's have a look. Rider, misinformation or unclear information. Alright, and bouquet. That's always... Unclear information is being made to look pretty, or is being said. This could be even misleading information. Is being said to make things look okay, to have people believe that everything is all right with them, while they could be very well falling apart in the background. High society could also be part of this, like maybe Mew is confused why some feminine figure, based on other readings, in high society wants to destroy his life or control his love life so much. Like, why is this happening to him? Why is he doing this? Or she doing this? What's all this about? Yeah, alright. Try and frame the situation properly. Relationship news or interviews. He's done an interview lately, hasn't he? Relationship news to hide or to mask the true situation with a man, I'm getting. But it could also be progress news about a happy life he's having with a man, so it could go that way too. Maybe this is even, like I said, Sunny. Maybe his relationship with Sunny, is now that he's being known as Sunny's mentor / boss, and he's hanging out with him so much. It could be about that. It could be about Sunny as the focus right now, which he is. So it could be this is Sunny and his relationship with Sunny, which, when I say relationship, it can be anything. Friendship, mentorship, admiration. It can be anything. Anything, literally anything. Relationship doesn't have to mean something serious between two people, So, serious as in, love. So, yeah, this could be Sunny. It could be Sunny because that is his focus. And the clouds could be there because it could be saying he's using his focus at work with Sunny to sort of cloud his thinking about taking any hasty steps to do anything about the other situation, or to try and escape reality, comes to me there. Using the clouds, clouds are there because he's using his job to escape reality. Could be that. Alright, what else have we got? Clarity. Sunny. Could be Sunny as well. Sunny. Gosh, we've got our sun and we've got Sunny now. Yeah, not to mention that Tull Tool's name also meant sun. It's getting so confusing. I have a feeling you did this on purpose, you know, because Sunny is also a Scorpio Sagittarius cusper. So it's like him and his PhD mind, all right, you want to do readings about me? Well, take this and see how you go. Because it's going to be confusing from now on. I'll have to consider Sunny every time I think it might be about golf as well. Anyway, most other surrounding cards should help clarify who it's about anyway, so. Alright. Garden, public relationships, so that could be Sunny or with Tool, because both are publicly known. About over here. Ooh, coffin. Coffin. Reality, public status. Being in public with someone has been stopped. Or maybe this is he can't see, he's confused and he can't see how he can possibly escape from this public exposure he has of being in a relationship with Tool, but then that confusion may end if he goes and does his meditation, does his deep reflection, and really thinks about it. He may stop thinking like a victim and realize that he could take the steps necessary to realign his life. Rider, coffin man. News stops about a man. Well, maybe that's not Sunny then. Well, it could be both though. I've explained before, cards can represent different things at different times. Rider coffin man could be news has stopped about him and Tool, perhaps? Or news has stopped and then along comes Sunny. Maybe. And then the last card, tree. Tree. So, family roots, possibly a bond he has with someone else. Possibly even health could have a big part in why things have turned out the way they have. Strong feelings, being confused. In Mew's case, feeling that bond with someone else would constantly be sort of nagging at him. Tree might be even, you know, sort of thinking outside of the box here, but maybe, you know, starting the Soul Skipper company and having Sunny as his first worker, maybe that's considered like starting a family. So starting a tree, something like that, maybe. So maybe if this sun up here is referring to Sunny, for example, it's like Mew is still unsure or not clear on where the company is headed. Like they haven't quite got their roots yet. Something like that. Maybe. Alright, well, as usual, I will put the cards up. Bear with me. The cards up behind me for reference, mostly. So we have Rider, Tree, yes. Do this right. Clouds, yes, we started with clouds. Coffin, yes. No, 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 no. I also say it's all still agreeing with our past readings and the Astro clock, what it was looking like, that from June onwards this year is when things will start taking almost like a plot twist. Well, what happened? He suddenly announced that there was going to be no wedding for another 2 years, possibly. Coincidence? I think not. Then, what else? I'm already missing some. There's bouquet then. There it is. Alright, I'm only missing one, which is sun, because it's already up there. Oh, that's interesting. This is Gulf's cards. Maybe sun represents Gulf as well. Could be that. Get the other cards down. Maybe some kind of news about Gulf. Maybe this could also be about Mew hearing about Gulf and his latest shipping happening. Like with JB, for example, there's been a little bit of shipping with that. Maybe all the all the exposure that Gulf's been getting with JB could be confusing Mew. I mean, it would be very weird if that were the case, though, because what's he doing with Tool, that interview about first kiss and everything, which, by the way, I do not believe for 1 second, because just the way their expressions were during all that, who would believe them? They were just totally crazy. Like, the fans excuse it as, oh, they're so cute and shy about it all. Are you kidding me? You shouldn't be shy like that after being together for more than 4 years. You're not shy and stepping on eggshells around each other like that. Or you shouldn't be. It's not healthy. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Right, so I've done Mew's cards there. Alright. Oh... Let's start with the past column, so heart, garden, bouquet. Past or early in the month, his relationship with someone, we'll just say someone, that was out in the public eye, was made to look beautiful, like a bouquet of roses, was possibly set on a high pedestal, with high society as well. And all that. So that could either be his connection with Sunny, he's being praised for making his own company and becoming his own talent worker, being the CEO of his own company again. It could be that. And like I said, it could be Sunny this relationship is talking about. Or it could be talking about how they are still trying to mask the deterioration happening behind the scenes between him and Tool as well. I mean, that would make sense with the last interview that was given, wouldn't it? Because it was definitely an old interview. And, I'll say it again, just the way they looked, you wouldn't believe them. You wouldn't believe a word that comes out of their mouths, the way that they act. The way Mew looks so like he doesn't even want to be there. The way Tool is so sly and sneaky, looking like he's up to something. And the comment like, oh, I'm not even going to disclose where our first kiss was, and I'm going to make a joke of it instead. Well, that gets the shippers, convinces the shippers, but it doesn't convince people with their eyes open. Anyway. So heart and garden is like relationship in public, basically. Heart and bouquet usually means a happy love life. But as I said, bouquet in the history of our readings about Mew's life at the moment has been about masking something more serious with a bouquet. And let's not forget, we had these cards as the Astro clock cards. So these are clarifying what this is about. So some form of possibly abuse, which could be, as I've mentioned before, there's many forms of abuse. Could be manipulation, could be emotional abuse, could be self-emotional abuse by not being able to, search deep within. Things like that as well. So that with that kind of doesn't make a happy picture, if that makes sense. It's like all this is what's behind this. Okay? Makes sense? Then we have in the present or mid-month, which is about now, we have sun, clouds, tree. Now, as I went through down here, should I change the camera, by the way? I think you can see them better in the other one because of the light, but oh well, leave it there. Like I said, it's very possible that this is about Sunny and starting with his new company, fresh roots. He's not too sure about how it's all going to take root or how it's all going to stabilize in the future. It could even be maybe Mew's had a health risk behind the scenes, and that has affected his current thinking. Maybe he's starting to feel like the signs of burnout coming back, and he wants to go and give himself some self-love and attention to prevent himself from going into the dark again. Yes, and then in the future column, or later in the month, we have Rider, Coffin, Man. So, dare I say it, if this is about Sunny, maybe news about Sunny's work with Mew may stop by the end of the month. Maybe they'll become more held back about it, not as a negative thing, but because maybe they have to stay quiet and they can't afford to face the press too often for the chance of leaking information, because they are apparently doing a project together already. So maybe it's something like that. Or if it's about the other man in Mew's life, it could be maybe there'll be news of an ending. Maybe there'll be news of a breakup. Maybe there'll be news of enough is enough. This is the truth of what's really happening. Enough with the miscommunication. Or if this is Mew himself, perhaps he will sort of disappear for a while and we won't hear much about him and his work for a little while, because his schedule isn't full, because obviously, the lack of couple work is not having people want to really support him to make money to buy a house and have a wedding that may not even be for the right reasons, etc. Possibly. It's only one possibility, but it makes sense. People don't like to be jerked around, with emotional heartstrings pulled, etc. So if it all turns out to be false, which interestingly enough, I was watching some other people doing readings last night, and they said exactly the same thing. I shared it with you, in fact, if you guys looked at my community posts lately. I shared it, that someone actually said it, spilt it out, fake, as in F-A-U-X, fake, faux. So, yeah. There's possibly that too. Going up here for what's on his mind. What's on his mind? Happy. Could be be happy love life, or it could be clarity about his love life and news. I'd say it's more clarity. Usually it is with Mew, it's more about clarity. So this could be about clarifying the truth about his love life is on his mind. How is he going to do it? How is someone else going to do it if they've said they will? How's it all going to come out? The truth about his love life. How is it all going to come out? Right? Or rider can also signify someone coming back or visiting someone, so it could even be about that. Happily being in love with someone who visits occasionally, or someone returning from your past life, returning and you being really happy and content with that. Finding clarity with someone from your past life. Something like that as well. Reality, garden, clouds, coffin. What is happening in the public eye regarding his love life is unclear. The status is unclear. The situationship is... Clouds could even mean illusion. And it's going to end. Whatever this illusion is, situationship is, whatever is confusing him and maybe other people is going to end. That's the reality. And then hidden influences. Why is it going to end? Because maybe holding up the mask is affecting his health. And possibly this man's health as well. Or maybe because if we go back to this possibly being sunny, maybe Mew is seeing that, there's better things out there for him in the public eye than putting his love life on camera, so to speak. So he might, focus more of the public exposure about his work life and find homage and security in that with the tree, rather than vlogging travel and life with his supposed fiance. I'll still say supposed because, yeah, anyway. Alright. Is there anything else I can do? I could see about extra meanings. Let's have a look. I think I've covered it pretty well, though. If there was anything I was maybe unsure about... Let me have a look at sun and clouds quickly. Sun, cloud. Confusion about what makes you happy. Failure to see joy in life. Optimism is dimmed by doubt. A temporary loss of clarity. A silver lining exists, but success is currently obscured by confusion. Lack of mental clarity. Success despite being pessimistic. Bad weather, avoiding achievements, hiding your accomplishments, success is fleeting, things aren't what they appear. So yes, all very much sounds like it could be to do with a possible new company, or it could also be to do with family. If you go back to the tree as being family, all the exposure that Mew has had with Tull and their families, being all hunky-dory together and everything. Perhaps that's a misconception as well, or an illusion as well with this clouds card here, and things are not what they appear. What else? I'm going to switch the camera back. Oh, hang on, what did that say? Oh, hello Nadine. Welcome. That relationship, in my opinion, has ended since late 2025. There were so many signs. Yes, it's very possible. Alright, coming back to this, we'll do the knighting now, because I didn't do that while I was up there. So knighting, first of all, heart tree. So family love, love of family, love for something is what keeps you rooted. let's just do the meanings for the knighting. Let's do the meanings here. Heart tree. Also possible with health-related issues with the heart. Strong relationship, compassion, favorable roots, strong family support, karmic connection. Oh, karmic connection comes up with that too. Interesting. Destined connection and heart problems. Yes. Okay. That's interesting. And then rider tree. Rider tree. Health-related news. Visitor with roots in the past. Like I said, someone from the past. Message from a relative. Sports outdoors and acting boring. Well, actually, all the last three there could also be something. He does do a lot of sports activities at the moment. Acting boring. He does sometimes look like he's bored of life. Visitor with roots in the past sticks out, though. Yeah. So maybe he reconnects with someone and that brings joy to his life, for example. What else? Let's see what sun bouquet is. Now, as I said, bouquet is usually a happy card, but with the idea that it could be masking the whip back there, it sort of takes away from that happy feeling when I'm reading. So, sun bouquet. Success and happiness, being admired for your success and confidence, a happy visit or celebration. Happy visit, could go back to the past person. Beautiful weather, inviting decor, warm personality, gaining an old-fashioned relationship, gaining an invite, clarity about a gift. Yeah, so they're all the happy meanings, really. But if you connect that with the whip up here, again, and the idea that news is going to stop about something, and you're confused about something, or there's an illusion about something, it sort of takes away from that bouquet being so positive then. Sun and man is like someone with a happy disposition. Sunny. It could be sunny. It could just be Mew is so happy to be working with Sunny. This whole thing, because in my other reading that I did very recently, it was also saying that, you know, Mew is very happy and content right now, but he is going to be focusing on work. Work is his focus to get the other thing out of his mind. So, Sunny. It could very well be Sunny. Sunny could be the way to sort of have everything else remain in the clouds for now. Or perhaps working with Sunny, the more he works with Sunny, the more he is getting those memories, the more he is triggered by his intuition of how things used to be, and perhaps he is starting to see, you know, things need to come to an end, or things need to change how things are, but possibly between him and Gulf. There's that possibility as well, because a returning person from the past. Yeah. Let me just look up this one, lastly. Heart and Coffin, so you sort of get an idea of why I'm looking at it so, I suppose you could say, negatively. So heart coffin, right? Heart coffin. Ending of love, ending of compassion, grief about lost love, being single, loneliness or missing someone, heartbreak, grief or emotional shutdown, end of a relationship, loving nothing, desiring nothing, loving someone who is gone from your life. So with all that, and then also we have coffin bouquet here, just with that connection, it just makes me think that he's grieving what he lost, the true love he lost, because of high society, basically, because of having to try and ride up social life, the social ladder. Possibly, but hang on, no. Bouquet coffin, because we go in the direction. So bouquet coffin. Yeah, this is what I said. It's not really, it may look happy here, but then you unite it, and it's knighted with a negative card. Well, not always a negative card, but in this case I think it is. Bouquet coffin, ending one's social life, loss of gratitude, gifts for a gravesite, flowers associated with death, Day of the Dead makeup, Halloween makeup, surprise contact from a person from your past. Ooh, surprise contact. That could also be entwined with what I said earlier. Disappointment, unpleasant gathering. Yes, so yeah, it could be that, yeah, like I said, his focus is on Sunny, and perhaps that's bringing back a lot of memories from the past of his time with someone else doing similar things. And it's starting to sort of wake him up a little of what he lost. Maybe he's grieving what he lost, the time he lost with his other person. Or maybe he's starting to wake up, you know, that spiritual awakening we keep speaking of, and he's going to take some drastic moves in the future. He's planning to change his life drastically, or maybe, you know, like a plot twist with the public exposure of his life. All right, so that's Mew. I think that's pretty much covered Mew. Oh, I forgot to put the highlights on. Hang on. No. Listen, I'm not up for doing all that, so I'm not going to bother. But anyway, I'll fix it next time, because I had to do a quick change of my storage as well, because the hard drive was having trouble, so anyway, you don't need to know all that. Alright, so I will pack these cards up. Oh, it's alright, I can take a photo from the fridge. I was thinking I needed to take a snap of that, but no, it's alright. Just do the frame, fridge. Oops. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to golf. So, oh. Hello, whose cards are these? Yeah, that was Mew. That was Mew. Mew is looking more focused right now. He is. He's focused on work, as I said. Alright, let me get the Astro clocks out now for golf. Now, golf had a more simple Astro clock setting this time. Actually, let me change that first. They're not locked, are they? No. Okay, so first of all, whip changes to sun. Scythe and key, that's right. Golf has scythe in his. Scythe. this one off, and key. So while both Mew and Tull are trying to clear out some kind of abuse or some repeated problem issue, Gulf is also trying to cut something out of his life, which is interesting. Okay, right. So, let's go, what did I say? For July, Sun Scythe. Sun Scythe is ending of fun or joy, ending that which does not bring happiness. Liberation and freedom is suddenly removed. Sudden limitations or restrictions occur. Sudden but happy ending. That one really sticks out. Positive decision. Fast ending. Clean cut. Scythe and key. Opening oneself to danger. Opening oneself to putting an end to something. Cutting keys. Ending the situation is very important, like it's destined or fate. Serious warning, important decision, necessary decision, fate. Sun, key, opening oneself to happiness, understanding what happiness is, the key to happiness, important accomplishment, the key to success. Success is very important to you, recognizing where your focus needs to be. So what have I actually said? These cards really hint at some huge sudden change, possibly affecting Gulf's freedom, happiness, and or life in general for the better. Sun Scythe. Whatever this change is, very important, but possibly risky. Whatever this change is, it's very important, but possibly risky, sorry. Scythe key. However, even if it's challenging at first, it will bring happiness and clarity to Gulf in the long run, being his fate and destiny. Scythe key. He will suddenly know where his focus should be, other than work possibly, and what he truly wants in life to reach his true happy potential, to live his true destiny possibly with his son. Sun key. Yes. So that's what I said for Gulf. Looking back on Mew's reading now, it could be that the sun in Mew's reading, it's linked with Gulf right here. It could be that, as I said before. And the scythe, well, I'm not getting the vibes that it's ending between them. Could be a sharp decision between them, or it could be, as I said, a sudden ending but for the better. But it might be a sudden ending of something around them rather than between them, which would go back to the idea of a possible breakup with the other two, a possible public announcement of no more between the other two, and suddenly he's free to be with Mew again in some ways. But then also, you know, what I was saying about restrictions and everything all of a sudden could mean, you know, he has to be more careful. Maybe the hints have to be cut down short again because suddenly the doubt is gone. You know, I've said this in the past a long time ago about the balance of why Mew and Gulf may put out hints to us one day in the first place while other things are happening, to keep the balance. You know, while the doubt is there, any doubt whatsoever, there's a bit of balance between reality and what's being shown. So yes, it's possible that if the doubt disappears about Mew and Tull not being a compatible couple, that straight away the focus will go back on Gulf, and that would definitely be affecting Gulf in his work, wouldn't it? So there's that. But it could be also with the idea of it will show you where your focus needs to be, the sun and the key. Well, maybe Gulf needs to, you know, make a decision about, does he want to continue things the way they are? Or does he want to, I guess, choose love this time? over career. Something like that. If they can't merge together in harmony because of whatever things are being said or whatever opinions are out there with his fans, perhaps he'll have to choose. Perhaps he'll have to choose between his work and his love life. And he was nowhere near ready to do that back in the past, but maybe he's more ready to do it now, if that's what it takes. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but it's possible. It depends how much he loves this person, this son, and, you know, how much he wants it to work between them and stop being such a mountain of problems. Lack of communication, lack of public exposure possibly, things like that. Having to continuously pretend that he has no one while the other is parading around with someone else, possibly as a cover story. Who knows? Anyway, let's move on to clarifying, shall we? We can guess all we want about what these cards are saying, but really we want to clarify. So with 9 cards, little deck, can you please tell us what the Sun, the Scythe and the Key is about, for what Gulf is in for the rest of this month of July, please, regarding Mew, regarding work, regarding his life in general. What is the month of July, or the rest of the month of July, looking like for Gulf Kanawat, please, little deck? What is this month of July looking like? Oh, well, we got 1. Alright, I'm going to start counting now. I got a bit distracted for a second there, sorry. Alright. 1, 2, oh, hang on. You're not even seeing me. Sorry, guys. That just came out before. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so we got our first cards, similar to what we got with Mew, although his wasn't facing upwards. So this one is Gulf's card, and we have Stork in the middle. So some kind of a move. Maybe he's still moving into his new house. Or maybe it's about moving on from someone, or moving forward with someone. So let's see. Let's do the Divine Cross. Time is at 4:12. Was a little bit behind time, but I think I've made up for it. Okay. So this move, it's a moving card. This move, whatever it is, where does it all start? Oh. Okay, fish. That could either be abundance of... It could either be financial abundance or emotional abundance. And yeah, that's the best way to put it. Alright. And which of these it is will be revealed later, as we see what the other cards are. Alright, so what's the conclusion of this abundance? Man in exactly the same spot. Okay. So that's tricky. That's a tricky one. Let me look that up right now, in fact. Fish and Stork. Let me see what that is. Straight up. Oh, okay. Transformation in one's thinking about business, financial changes, saving money so that you can move, moving closer to water, maybe a water sign. natural progression, business growth, and business expansion, acquisition. Natural progression could be something, because, you know, if it is fate and destiny, then divine timing would also be what natural progression would look like. Could be that. And if that's the case, then this man, obviously Mew. So if that's Mew, then that could be Mew as well, possibly. Okay. Just wanted to get that meaning out of the way first. Alright, and what about the other corner cards? What have we got? House. Move regarding a house. And other ship. Home and travel. Home and travel. Okay. So an abundance of money or financial abundance because of his fans, or his saving up with his fans, his family, his work family, everyone he says you are my home to, basically, is helping him on his journey back to this man, possibly. Or if this man is Gulf, then his financial abundance is helping him to what would be the word? Repay the love of his fans, family, work family, etc. by traveling to see them, possibly. Like all the fan benefits he's been doing lately. Could be something to do with that. Or it could be that he's focusing on saving up money, as was said in the meaning before. He's focusing on saving up his money, his financial abundance, in order to invest in his new home and be able to travel more, possibly with a man. Or possibly move in with a man. Yes, interesting. Okay, and then what are these other cards? Garden. So he's financially abundant in the public eye, or he's known to have had enough money to buy a house, while apparently the other is struggling. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Or even maybe it's about Mew has already sort of welcomed people into his home in a way. He's welcomed the public into his home. He shares about his family, his cats. He calls them his home. You are my home. Okay, and this one... Coffin. Oh. See, now that's interesting. The position of that, in reality, like Mew here, and Mew ends with coffin, while Gulf starts with coffin, sort of. So, endings and beginnings. Whatever is ending for Mew will bring a new start for Gulf. Interesting. Okay. That's like a breakup with Mew and the other would bring a new start opportunity for MewGulf. And then this one, key. Key, where am I? Oh, Gulf had key, right. So there's the key. this sudden change, sudden decision, sudden ending for the better, as we discussed earlier, is going to birth new opportunities, happier horizons, for golf, and that's the key here, right? And with the bird being attached to the man and the fish here, yeah, I would say the man is most likely Mew. All right, and then what's the last card? Hidden influences. This is so ship and man. What's this one? The scythe. Well, that could be looked at as saying ending his journey with this man. This could go back to the idea I've said before, I visited multiple times about Mew isn't going to snap out of it and wake up or have a spiritual awakening until Golf says, that's it, no more. I can't just wait around my whole life for you to get your act together. Go in peace and, just live your life. I want you to be happy because I always will love you, but do it without me. And when a divine feminine does that, that is when the divine masculine starts being reeled back to them, starts being attracted back to them, starts dreading life without them, and does everything they can to reconnect and mend things. So it could be that. It could be that. If not that, maybe decision to travel will be cut regarding this man. Maybe they were planning to travel somewhere on a secret rendezvous and that's gonna be cancelled. Maybe, as I mentioned in Mew's reading, did I? Or was that Tool's reading? No, I think it was Mew's reading about possibly not agreeing about travel with Mew and Tool, obviously, not going on their regular 3-month trip. And by not doing that, it will get the ball rolling for things to move in a more positive direction for MewGulf as well. Possibly. Alright, let me get the cards up. And then we'll continue discussing. So, let's see, we got fish. Yes, fish. Don't have. Oh, yes, we do. Garden. House. Coffin, see? Hang on, let me switch. Yeah, coffin. Stalk. Key. There's the key. And the scythe. There's the scythe. And the man. There's the man. And ship. Alright. There we go. Very interesting. Now, it's funny. A reading I did just, not last night, but the night before. Somebody asked me to do a reading about the possibility of when MewGulf will have a public reunion of any kind, as in through work or through any other means. Well, basically the answer to that question was when the other ends. When the other is sorted out. When the breakup happens. I mean, I got 3 of Swords. So, yeah. And then when I asked the GDT deck, which is the time sensitive deck I asked that the same question, and I got the card this month. Yeah. Now, I reacted to it as, oh, you know, really? I'm not sure if I can believe that with how long everything has taken, but the way things are looking, it's possible. If not happening this month exactly, it could be that there's plans being made this month to move things along towards an ending. Anyway, alright, so with Gulf's reading here, I guess I'll do it from down here because I've already sat down. So, fish, coffin, ship is in the past. What could that be? Fish, coffin, ship. Fish and coffin usually means like money stops coming in. Abundance, financial abundance ends or stalls for a while traveling. I don't know, there's something telling me this fish isn't about money though. There's something telling me this fish isn't about money. It's telling me it's more about an abundance of emotions, like drowning in your own feelings sort of thing. And if it's that, then it would be like emotions were stalled while traveling, while working, while being away from each other, while longing. Stopped longing. Maybe it's about stopped longing for someone, which, as I mentioned before about the divine feminine situation, it's kind of what happens. The divine feminine just wakes up one day and says, you know, I love you and all, but I have my own life. I need to move on. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here waiting around hoping and manifesting that you change your mind and come back to me. I'm just going to get on with my life and you get on with yours. And as I said, that usually triggers the divine partner to come back to them because they can't risk losing this person completely out of their life. So maybe that's it too. Maybe this month is the month that Gulf just decides enough is enough. I'm done with manifesting this to work out. You know, you do you, and when you're ready, come and see me for reuniting as friends. But I'm done waiting around, something like that. Maybe. This is earlier or in the past, earlier this month or in the past, he was feeling this, possibly. The other possibility is that it is to do with money and work, and maybe a trip gets cancelled. Maybe one of his fan benefits or something gets cancelled. Then we move on to present. We have garden, stalk, scythe. Garden, stalk, scythe. Let me look up garden stalk. Garden stalk. Public transformation, societal change, pregnancy groups, baby shower, including changes to your social circle, sharing your desire of change with others, public changes and growth. Yeah. So sharing your desire of change with others and so forth. Maybe this is about Gulf stops sharing with the public as much as he is about his house, about his family, about his life. Maybe he makes the decision. Maybe this is, as I said, maybe the hints stop. Maybe this is about that too. Maybe he decides to stop the hints. He decides to stop longing for Mew, decides to stop the hints or the little answers to Mew on social media. And then if we jump ahead to the future, decides to focus on me, myself and I, himself, and his new home, his new family, his comfort zone. Decides to stay in his comfort zone, his newfound comfort zone it would be, after, being comfortable with the decision he's made, possibly. Maybe. What have we been saying here? Hello, MewGulf. I think that MewGulf are more together now in private than before. Things seem to be hinting that way. The Facebook pages for MewGulf have been posting more now about them. Possibly. Hi, good afternoon. How are you? I'm well, thank you, Bruno. Yeah, it's possible. Not sure though, because if you're referring to the Facebook pages of fans, well, doesn't really indicate anything about MewGulf in real life, does it? But there's certainly still all those signs out there that we continuously see. I mean, the latest one really had me thinking, is this a planned tactic for business, or is this really a hint that he still loves golf? And yes, I'm talking about Mew. His last photo shoot, where if you were paying attention, you would have seen there was a tiny little sunflower near his hand on the bench that he was posing on. Now, things that went through my mind. Did the photographer perhaps suggest to put a sunflower there to, attract Waanjai? Or did Mew suggest it for that reason? Or is there really more meaning behind it, as in he's triggering, or not triggering, but communicating with golf with that kind of thing showing up? It's a question, isn't it? It all depends, because the way the cards tell me things are, maybe they really are together, as you say. Maybe they are seeing each other on the side, but maybe Golf suddenly says, I don't want to do this anymore, Mew. You need to make a decision. I don't want to be the maiden on the side anymore. Something like that, Maybe that's why it's going to be even more, triggering for Mew to snap out of things and make drastic changes, because it will be threatening his life, because he'll be losing, the threat of losing golf for good out of his life like that would be very dramatic for him. If he's had golf all this time behind the scenes, and then suddenly golf says, nah, this can't continue, You need to make up your mind whether you want that luxury with Tul and his family and the business and everything, or whether you want me. And perhaps Gulf has also come forward with a proposition of, if you choose me, I won't make you regret it. I'll start focusing more on us. I'll put work on the back burner. Maybe there's something like that going on too. But maybe there's a little bit of doubt and fear involved on both sides, that, they don't fully trust each other to take that leap of faith. Possibly. I mean, right now, Gulf has a lot more to lose than Mew. So, both ways I can understand. I can understand if Mew's a little bit like, you would really do that in the situation, in the current status you're in right now with your fame and career, you would throw that all away for me. I find that hard to believe. Possibly. Or, Gulf might have the doubt of if they're ever going to end up together happily, because this just seems to continue. This ongoing dragging along, pulling along, stringing along even, that Mew is doing because of his other situationship. Knighting. Yeah, see, even this, the fish and the scythe. I don't think it's, because this is Gulf's reading, I definitely don't think it's money's about to stop. Because even if Gulf were to suddenly turn around and say, actually, I'm still friends with Mew, or actually, I'm still in a relationship with Mew even, if he were to do that, his loyal fans are not going to suddenly abandon him. No chance. Especially because most of the Waanjai are still supporting him. Even those who have sadly chosen to leave Mew. So, it's not like his money is going to suddenly stop coming in if he does make this decision. No, it's more about, because Scythe can also be a decision, it's more about he's really thinking about what he's going to do with these emotions, these overflowing, this abundance of emotions that he's had in the past for this man. He's thinking about what to do with it. He's thinking about, I think it's about time I move on from this. Or if it's not about moving on, maybe it's about time I put focus on this. So the emotions could be hesitation, feelings of anxiety and fear of the unknown. Perhaps that's what he puts to rest and then moves on with Mew. Could be that too. The house and the scythe here. Well, again, this goes back to something I've visited in the past of like sorting the wood from the chaff regarding his fans. Doing something that makes him sort of able to see who truly is his fan and who's going to support him if he does choose what he truly wants. Regarding, who he may fall in love with, who he may choose to marry, etc., compared to who may actually leave him or stop following him, or become a hater even because of some decision he may make. Could be that too. Guardianship, publicly known trip, journey, public exposure, public ship. Maybe it's also about, ending a ship, or coming forward in public and talking about not wanting to be shipped with other people, with other men in particular. if I go back to the idea of him saying, you know, I'm done, Mew, and, you know, stopping that, maybe he'll come forward to the public and also say, please stop shipping me with Mew. Maybe because he wants to let go of that part of his life because the memories are too painful or something like that. Or if it's another person, which it more likely is, like, I don't know, Smith, Cow, JB, any other man, basically, any other man that he's ever been shipped with by his social media following, he wants to put a stop to that, possibly. If we go here, Coffin House, Coffin Man. With Coffin, because it starts with Coffin and it goes in the direction of the cards, I would say this is about taking something off hold. Rather than ending something, it's about taking something off hold. So maybe stop hesitating moving in with a man. Stop hesitating bringing a new family member in. Stop hesitating returning home, if you want to say home is possibly Waanjai. Stop hesitating returning home with a man, with Mew. In other words, MewGulf reunion. Start planning for a MewGulf reunion, possibly is key to finding happiness. And then if we come this side, we've got fish key, ship key. If I go back to saving money, the aspect of saving money that I said earlier for this, and travel, maybe it could be the key to their reunion is having a fan meeting, that, you know, worldwide fan meeting we missed out on years ago, maybe something like that. Or if this is more about emotion, it could be his feelings about hoping to do that one day. Then again, though, I said it was about him. Well, makes a strong decision. Makes a strong decision to publicly announce that there are plans in place to have a fan meeting with Mew, to have a reunion. Maybe. Or maybe it's a decision to cut plans. Maybe there were plans, but they're now being cut because, as I said earlier, maybe Golf is saying that's enough. No, Mew needs to figure out what he wants first. And Golf doesn't really want him to keep pursuing life with him while the other is going on. Maybe. And maybe that's why Mew has the clouds up here regarding his relationship, because Golf is basically threatening to step out of his life. Maybe. But rest assured that it, with Golf having the Sun, Scythe and Key, it would be for the better, not because it would be better for Golf to move on and do that, but because it will trigger Mew to have a spiritual awakening, to want to mend things between them, to want to realign his life, basically, to want to make things solid between them. So it all kind of adds up to that at the moment. Of course, it depends as well on what the other's reading is and how that all fits in as well, because, like it or not, there is a third party situation going on. and everybody is involved. Even Sunny is becoming involved too. So, yeah, anyway. I think I've pretty much covered Gulf's reading there for now. I already put it up, didn't I? Alright, so let's get these cards back and let's move on to Tool finally. Even if what you were saying about, you know, Mew and Tool ended basically in 2025, this other thing with, you know, spiritual awakening and divine partnership, etc., and Gulf having to threaten to step out of his life first before Mew will actually make up his mind, could still all be part of it. Even if they're still seeing each other, could still all be part of it. Because a lot lately in readings we've had the Knight of Pentacles for Mew as well, as in he's quite comfortable and happy with what he's got right now. His comfort zone is you know, regarding Gulf, I mean, not so much the other, but his he still wants to benefit from the life he has with Tool and the life he has with Gulf, possibly, and so he's hesitating to let go. Anyway, and if he's not hesitating personally to let go, then there's something that's not allowing him to let go, like emotional blackmail, something that needs to be settled in court, some kind of contract he's under bondage with. Could be many things. Anyway, let's do more Tool's reading. You all saw the sunflower, yeah. Yeah, well, instead of just thinking it was an innocent hint to Gulf, it just really triggered me to think, because it's not like that post was purely from you. It was a posing post with a company. So do you think that sunflower would have made it into those photos without the company knowing about it? Not likely. It didn't look like it was a sticker placed there afterwards. It looked like it was a sunflower sitting on the bench for the posing session, for the photo session. So, I don't know, it just kind of made me question it a bit more than usual. Anyway. Let's move on to Tool's reading. So, Tool. See what the cards are. Tool had... That's right, Tool also has 4 cards. So first of all, let's change these cards. First we change the Sun to Snake. That already makes me think false happiness. Tower, Scythe is changed to Tower. Work or contract will be ended or made a strong decision about. Maybe it's Tool deciding strongly to, you know, choose career. Excuse me. The blank card is the incense burner. Whoa, that's big. And then bring the 4th card back. The whip, that's right. 4th card is the whip. So like I said, Tool has whip as well. Incense burner and whip. Not a ideal combination? Well, it is for most people, because it means getting rid of all that stuff in your life that's no good for you. But in the case of Mew and Tool being a happy-go-lucky couple who are going to get married in 2 years, it's not really in their favour. Anyway. Someone says something. Mew will be seen as a liar, cheater, manipulator if he does not plan the transition well. That's right. That's why it would be most beneficial for Tool to come out and say something first. But will he? Yet to see. Anyway. So, Snake, Tower, Incense Burner, Whip. What did I say for these cards? So, Snake and Tower. Ambition creates loneliness, desiring authority, deception causing isolation, manipulation so that someone can climb the social ladder. What did I say earlier? Fascinated by law and order, lawsuit, female executive, independent woman. Tower, Incense Burner, clearing security, dispelling lonely thoughts, clearing your work desk, area, station, being dismissed or dismissing an employee, waiting for a break or time to clear your mind during work. Could be waiting to have a trip. Incense Burner, Whip, a necessary, perhaps intense clearing or purification of a tense, argumentative or harmful situation. Active purification using spiritual, emotional or practical means to break a cycle of abuse, criticism or ongoing conflict. Aggressive clearing, actively cutting toxic people or destructive habits out of your life. Ending arguments, banishing bad vibes or heated personal attacks from a space or relationship. Healing from conflict, removing the sting of a punishment or a painful nagging situation. There's that nagging situation again. It's funny, the reading that I shared with everybody about Virgo last night, the guy was talking about it being over and over again. The song Over and Over Again was playing in his head. And this Virgo he was reading for should have been happy, but he wasn't. He was continuously going, through this loop of like a karmic cycle. And there was a lot of deception, a lot of distrust, a lot of things are not what they seem, a lot of faux is what he said. Faux as in F-O-E or faux as in F-A-U-X. And he happened to mention Aquarius as well. So yes, interesting. Anyway, back on track. Snake, Incense Burner, actively address and remove lies or manipulation from a relationship or situation. A complex problem that needs purifying and requires spiritual cleansing. The act of burning incense produces smoke, which could metaphorically represent a hidden problem being made visible or addressed. A rival being smoked out, exposed, or their negative influence removed. Snake Whip, creating pain by lies and manipulation. Arguments with enemies, punishing your enemies, being vilified for two-faced behavior, being critical because of jealousy. And finally, Tower Whip. Authority continues to show power of abuse, creating distance from conflict, defending against aggression, official critic, joining a contest or competition, controlling your sexuality, being disciplined about habits or routine, gym, fitness center, workout. So what I said, it looks like Tool could either be being manipulated or be manipulating someone to climb the social ladder. Perhaps that high society female figure who keeps popping up in readings could be forcing Tool to focus on working for his dad and already running One Skin, Matcha, We Are Young Cafe, and of course his family business, the mall, as I said earlier. While supporting Mew to work away from him, which is causing more distance between him and Mew and making him feel lonely and insecure. Snake Tower. Maybe Till is waiting patiently for some time off to go travelling with Mew again, but Mew is not in agreement with him about their next trip. Maybe his schedule is too full. Tower Incense Burner. Maybe Till really wants to get away with Mew for a while to clear all the negative vibes and possibly discuss how to deal with and end all the deception in their lives. Snake Incense Burner. But this high society feminine person has insisted the lies and deception and public engagement continue under contract, and this continues to bring pain, arguments, and restraints from pursuing other people publicly to both of them. Snake Whip. The people in charge continue to show power of abuse, and Till has to live with it, at least for now, and continues to keep to his disciplined workout routine and possibly business schedule, while Mew is possibly avoiding him or keeping to himself with his busy work schedule. Tower Whip. Alright, so that's what I said back then. Obviously trying to, look at things from all angles. Alright. So, let's get some clarification now for Till's cards. Snake, Tower, Incense Burner, Whip. So, Little Deck, what can you tell us about these cards in Till's Astro Clock for the month of July that we are now in? What is Till in for the rest of the month regarding Mew, regarding his work, regarding his life in general? What's the snake represent? Lies, deception in his life, or ambition? Tower, does it represent loneliness or authority over him? And Incense Burner and Whip, does it represent the same sort of thing as it did for Mew, which is trying to banish negativity and possibly abuse and lies and deception out of his life? Please tell us more, Little Deck. Please clarify with 9 cards what these cards are about. The Snake, the Tower, the Incense Burner, and the Whip. I'll start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoop, whoop. Well, I saw the bottom card there, so I think I'll take that as a sign that that's supposed to be the middle card. And then I'll just finish shuffling that. Alright. I was about to say, it's funny how for MewGulf the middle card came out until it didn't, but maybe that's why I saw the bottom card. So the bottom card was Snake. Pretty fitting, right? Okay, so Snake. Now let's see what the rest of the cards are. So the rest of this month is obviously about lies, deception, or maybe it's about being ambitious regarding work as well, because he has been doing a lot more coverage and promotion of his mall in particular. So it could be that. But it could also be, because of the latest interview that was released. There could be more of that to come this month. Alright, so where does this Snake card start for Till this month of July? Where does it all start? Book. Secrets. The unknown. Possibly bookkeeping, like fraud in business, even. Alright. And then where does it all conclude? What does it conclude with for Till this month of July? Bear. Bear, the boss, the motherly figure, or in general just protection. Protecting all the lies, deceit, and possibly fraud going on in the background, perhaps. Alright, what are the other corner cards? Cross, it's a burden. An incense burner. Cards don't lie, people. There are a lot of hidden elements, whether it be work or his love life or his relationship with Mew, because they're two different things. Whatever it is, he could be protecting himself, and protecting himself with all that lie and deceit in his life could be proving to be a burden that he needs to banish, he needs to get rid of. Lies, deceit, fraud, if it's business related, or foe, as I mentioned earlier, foe if it's about relationship with Mew, is all proving to be a burden and a heavy weight to carry that he needs to banish out of his life and clear the air on in order to protect himself or protect even Mew. Could be tapping into what we were saying about it would be better if Tull comes forward and says something. It would be better for Mew. Perhaps if Tull really does care about Mew, that's what he will do. He will come forward to protect Mew from a worse, criticism from the world. Backlash from the world, maybe. Or if you want to look at it another way, it could be that he's starting to learn something new, or he's possibly starting to focus his education on business so he can take over his father's business ambitiously in order to protect his life, his future, his family. But it is proving to be a burden because of all the time he's spending apart from family and Mew to do so, which could be causing him to have doubts, have that sort of negative self-talk, which he needs to banish, possibly. Could be looked at as that as well. Alright, and what else have we got here? Ring. Secrets about a commitment or a relationship or an engagement are proving to be a burden. Or possibly, if you thought of this as fate and destiny, his idea that he was meant to be with Mew has turned out to be not true. What about this? Spirit, huh? Spirit. Karma. Destiny. The unseen. Things are not what they seem. That mixed with snake is not always a good thing. And then woman. There's that woman figure we keep talking about. She's linked here with boss too. Some woman is proving to be quite a burden on him, and possibly Mew too, on his commitment or his relationship or engagement. Some woman is choosing to be, I keep saying choosing, is proving to be a burden, and they're in some kind of a high boss position. And lastly, child. Okay, well, that is an interesting spread of cards, and unlike Mew and Golf that had somewhat positive cards, we're seeing a lot of negative here with his. Alright, so earlier in the month, or in the past, we have Book, Spirit, Incense Burner. Perhaps this is knowledge about karma and destiny is being cleared up, or he wants to banish it from his mind. I remember mentioning that sort of aspect before in a reading a long time ago. Perhaps he's returned to that of, wanting to get the idea of him not being Mew's destiny. He wants to banish that idea. Or on the other hand, he might be waking up to it and realizing, obviously I can't compete with destiny, and something needs to be done here. Could also be everything is not what it seems. Things that are not seen, not known to the public, about the books, about business, about secrets. He needs to clear the air about it all. In other words, needs to stop being so secretive. Let's see what I have for those cards, because that's tricky with Spirit. 2 special cards included. It's a little complicated. So let's see. Book. Firstly, Book and Spirit. Spiritual knowledge or studies, learning about spirituality, the occult, or exploring one's personal growth and inner self, a hidden spiritual element, a secret or unknown factor that has a spiritual, destined, or intuitive nature, like a divine couple, divine partnership, twin flames, hidden guidance, the discovery of inner wisdom or an intuitive breakthrough that was previously unknown. Suddenly wakes up and realizes he can't defeat destiny. Mysterious or unknown spiritual matters. The spiritual aspect of a situation is currently hidden or yet to be revealed. And then Spirit Incense Burner. A spiritual cleanse, a particular scent or ritual providing spiritual guidance. Trust your intuition and clear out the noise and clutter in your life. Clairvoyance or divination connection through ritual or saging. That's interesting. Trust your intuition. Perhaps this is tapping into the idea that Tull is going to suddenly wake up, as I said, and realize he can't fight destiny. His intuition that keeps nagging him all this time that, this isn't meant to be, this isn't going to work out, is going to win him over finally, and it's going to make him change his mind about things, about what he wants, about where he's headed, about what he may be in control of if he's being forced in any form or blackmailed in any form. Alright, and then currently or mid-month, which is currently really because we are mid-month, ring snake child. Well, let me just get ring snake up for you. Straight away to me that means a fake relationship, but let me just get it up. Ring snake. Can also mean to desire a commitment, because snake can be desire. Commitment to one's ambitions, commitment to a deceptive person, promise to a mistress, divorce or separated unit, chain of rivals, agreement with a woman, relationship with another woman, and difficult contract. Well, commitment to a deceptive person is like a fake relationship, but just not in those words. Difficult contract. Well, as I said, if this high society woman over here is forcing this public engagement to continue, it's a difficult contract. It's a difficult agreement with a woman as well, isn't it? Okay, and then snake child. If you look at ambition, it could be ambitious child. But what else could it be? Snake. Immature desires. Someone easy to manipulate, or someone easy to manipulate. I wonder if that's him or if he's the manipulator. A tricky new beginning or a deceptive child. Enemies who resort to pettiness, tempted to start over. Twisted younger people, and new start for a woman. Well, if we go back to this, if he's really starting to think, you know, he has no chance over with Destiny being his rival, a chance to start over. Could be about a chance to start over. This difficult contract or agreement he has with this high society woman needs to end, needs to stop, needs to change. Deception needs to be banished out of his life, and he needs to start over. Makes sense. And then in the future we have cross woman bear. Cross woman. I'm pretty sure that's about a woman being a burden, but let me just, because it depends which order you do it in, so let me just get that. Cross woman. A woman that is burdened. Burdened woman, tolerant woman, faithful woman, guilty, depressed. Guidance from someone, or someone the querent knows is currently having challenges. So this could even be about the woman is going to be in a burden. When Tull suddenly wakes up and decides he wants to start over and stops letting this person be in control, this person is going to be in distress because their plan is going to fall apart, is what I'm getting. And then if we go to woman bear, I should say. Female figure with authority, a strong, dominant woman, a woman's parents, a mother, boss lady, protective, controlling, strong, a mother, woman and her boss, woman and her mother, grandmother, a powerful protector. So, like I said, if it's about this woman's plans falling apart, could also be about her losing control of the situation. If Tull suddenly wakes up, starts listening to that intuition that keeps nagging at him that he's not meant to be with Mew, decides that this relationship is no good, is too toxic even, possibly, and decides to have a start over, then whoever this person is, this feminine person, whether they're a woman or not, their whole plan is going to fall to bits, and they're going to lose control over what they were doing, or what they were having Tool do in this regard up to now. Okay. If we go for knighting, excuse me, book child, cross child. This could also be, you know, going back to the idea that Mew wants children. Perhaps, you know, the secret that Tool doesn't want children. Well, Mew knows that, but the fact that he will never, you know, settle for having children with Mew, or doesn't have it in mind, but he keeps telling Mew that he does, like one day, you know, give it time, one day, but he's only stringing him along with that thought. Maybe all that is just becoming too much of a burden for Tool, and he's going to have this sudden urge to step away and have a new beginning because of it. Or maybe they've already broken up, as somebody said earlier, and, you know, keeping it a secret that they've already broken up and started again, supposedly, is becoming burdensome, because they have to keep telling lies in order to keep up the picture. Yes, alright, and then we have ring, incense burner, ring, bear. Protecting some commitment or relationship by clearing his mind of it. Hang on, ring, incense burner, let me see what that is. Ring, incense burner, a need to cleanse a relationship or contractual agreement, clearing out baggage from a past relationship, or using counseling, spiritual work to fix a current one, breaking a restrictive contract or letting go of a business partnership that is negatively affecting you. Yep, okay, ding ding. A necessary, intentional, and perhaps sacred process of letting go to move forward. Clearing the air in a relationship, actively working to remove negative energy, stress, or bad habits within a partnership. Ending a contract/cycle, burning away an old, no longer needed commitment or obligation. Purifying a commitment, a detox for a relationship, focusing on clearing out toxicity to strengthen the bond. Ritualistic union, a ceremony or commitment that involves clearing, blessing, or purifying the union. Well, there's a few things that really resonated there. Restrictive contract, or letting go of a business partnership that is negatively affecting you. Oh, excuse me. And then, of course, with bear, ring bear, this is either a strong relationship, strong bond, strong contractual agreement, as the words were used. Protecting that. Let's see, ring bear. A promise that dominates life, a strong bond or promise. Contract with an authority figure. Again, ding ding. Enclosed personal finances, promising to mother. Well, who knows who this mother figure is, or who this feminine figure is. Financial agreement and business partner. Yep. Alright, so business partner, or this feminine figure who has authority over him, could be a mother figure. He needs to clear his life of them, more or less. He needs to clear his life of the whole situation. Let's see what spirit and cross mean together. Or did I already do that? Let me just see. Spirit cross. No, I didn't. Okay, spirit cross. The burden of fate, destiny, feeling burdened by unspoken truths, spiritual burdens or challenges that may lead to personal growth, spiritual insights or intuition are guiding you through difficult times or responsibilities. Personal growth often arises from enduring hardships. Your insights may come with emotional weight. Face significant spiritual tests or challenges that require introspection and resilience. Yes. So as I was saying, maybe Tool just wakes up and realizes he can't fight destiny. Spirit Bear while we're at it. Powerful intuition. Your gut feelings or inner guidance are very strong and influential right now. Spiritual authority guardian. The presence of a strong spiritual guide, guardian, or a powerful mentor figure who is watching over you or offering protection. Overwhelming spiritual matters. A spiritual practice or belief system is taking on a very dominant or powerful role in your life, potentially becoming all-consuming or a significant influence on your choices. Hidden strength, influential secrets. Something hidden or a secret. Oh, hang on. Let me start again. Something hidden or a secret is highly important and has a lot of power or influence over the situation at hand. An influential person behind the scenes or a highly intuitive and powerful leader. That idea of a secret, something hidden or a secret, like twin flame relationship and the other being karmic, highly important and has a lot of power or influence over the situation in hand. Why? Because the universe does not agree with this, whatever is going on with Tool at the moment. So he's literally waking up to realize that the universe is not on his side right now, and he's fighting destiny and fate and has no chance of winning. He can keep avoiding and pushing it aside, but he's not going to have a happy, pleasant, peaceful life if he continues to do so. I mean, again, that idea of the Feng Shui master of the house not being able to find peace with the architect and with the house in general. It's an omen. Definite omen. Alright, so there you have it, guys. While the readings for MewGulf didn't seem too, crazy decision being made, this reading of Tools is certainly looking more influential. The fact that Spirit came out is very, very interesting. Oh, I haven't done the horizontal, have I? So hang on, let's do that first as well. So on his mind, book, ring, cross. Secrets about his commitment, about his relationship, about his engagement are becoming burdensome or are burdensome, and he can't stop thinking about it. Maybe he's got guilt over all the fake lies being told about it all, and it's consuming him. The reality is that things are not what they seem, and that there are lies and deception and mistruths being told, possibly because of the ambition of a feminine figure who thinks, everything is under her control. Possibly. Or being told about a feminine figure. But, If that were the case, then that would possibly be Mew, because I've said it before, I feel like Tul is the man and Mew is the woman in their dynamic. Not because of anything sexual, but more just because Tul is the more dominant one in charge, more in control with whatever this contractual bondage, blackmail or whatever it is going on, even if it's not Tul himself in charge, as some have thought. Whoever is in charge is more on Tul's side than Mew. And then hidden influences for the hidden influences for why there are so many lies being told and things hidden, and this woman thinks that she can continue being powerful and ambitious, because the idea of having a new start, or possibly having the strength to face up to this feminine person, stand up for their rights and stand up for what they truly want, is possibly not clear in his mind. And he wants to clear it in his mind, so he's starting to really think about it more deeply, which is going to trigger him to, as I said, wake up and think, I can't keep this up. Mew is meant to be with someone else. Let's put an end to this so I can start again, start over, and possibly have another chance of finding my true love and possible true alignment in life. And then when he chooses to do so, this woman will be at a loss, or not woman, but this feminine figure will be at a loss. This boss figure will be at a loss, because all their plans will fall to bits and they will lose control. They will have no control over things. If Tul suddenly wakes up, he's probably been voluntarily going along with it up to now because he has been benefiting from it in different ways, having more time with Mew, going on trips with Mew, having all the promotion for his businesses, etc. But now that he's being possibly forced by his dad to take the family business reins and to stop messing around or stop being so entrepreneur-like, starting to get down and serious about a future family life, etc. He's starting to think, no, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this anymore. And, my life is cut out for me now with my family, so let's put an end to this. And then suddenly this person who is in charge loses control, because one of the parties that was willing for it to all happen suddenly is refusing as well. 2 against 1. Doesn't want it. So she loses power, or they lose power to keep things under control suddenly. It takes 2 to tango, so if Mew is possibly being blackmailed into staying in this public engagement of some kind or contractual agreement, and Tul has been going along with it because of the benefits he gets out of it, but then suddenly he decides, no, I don't want to be in this anymore. This person can't really force 2 people. As long as there was one of them agreeing with everything, she was in power. But if both start to disagree and say, no, I don't want this anymore, it's just not going to happen. It's like it would be like trying to attract 2 opposite magnets together. That resistance. It just won't work. You might say with Tul going along with it up to now, he's been the seeking magnet, while Mew has been the avoiding magnet. So it's been like, it's been like that, with Tul being this side. Tul has been going to Mew, and Mew has been backing away up to now. Tul suddenly starts backing away. Mew's not going to suddenly go forward, So it's just gonna be like that. Because at no point have both of them been going like this. Except maybe when Mew was going through his burnout and was vulnerable, was emotionally vulnerable, before all the blackmailing possibly started, before anything that got him caught up in this mess started, before when there was just a genuine friendship between them, till was just someone who cared about Mew. Perhaps then it was like that. But slowly over time. Yeah, anyway. I hope that sort of made it more easy to understand what I'm getting at there. Right, so that's Tool. Now, I'm going to leave the cards there, and I'm going to do... What time is it? Oh, we're doing pretty well. It's only 5:30. I'm going to do the Buddha cards. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for each of them. We'll start with Tool. For some advice from Buddha Wisdom for Tulpacorn about this month of July, please. Regarding what we have uncovered today with his cards, obviously he has some very strong reflection and meditating to do about what is not seen, the intuition he has, the strong intuition he has that things are not meant to be the way they are, that things are meant to be different, that possibly he is fighting destiny and things need to change. So what's your advice, Buddha Wisdom, for Tulpacorn for this month of July? Please tell us in 3 cards or more what your advice for Tulpacorn is. That's 1. 2 more, please. 2 more cards, please, Buddha Wisdom. Okay, and another one. Okay. Let's see what we have here. So the first card that came out was this one. Let me get the cards up so you can see. Ships. First card is this one. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. They sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what is happening around you get inside and weigh you down. Yeah, quite a long one. Okay. And then this one. Just the glimpse of this one I'm doing now, it tells me that this is actually how he's feeling towards someone else, not Mew, but anyway. Here we are. If you love someone, tell them, because hearts are often broken by words left unspoken. That was the second one that came out. And lastly, this one that hasn't been revealed yet. What you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create. So like I said, it feels like this might be about someone else. Maybe, as we've said before, Tool has had other people in his love life, and there are some people who even say he's still with someone or is seeing someone currently on the side. Just like the theory with Mew seeing Golf on the side, Tool is also seeing someone. And if that's the case with these cards, then it could be that the situation with him and Mew, Buddha's saying don't let that stop you from pursuing who you're really meant to be with. if you love someone, tell them, because hearts are often broken by words left unspoken. Perhaps it's even about pursuing a new love. Perhaps someone you haven't been in touch with for a long time but want to reunite with. Could be about that. And what you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create, could be about being ambitious and, not thinking anything's impossible. Even though you're currently known to be publicly engaged to another person, it's not impossible that things will change, especially since you've given it 2 years to do so, and that you'll be able to have a second chance with somebody else, possibly. Or if it's all positive for Tall regarding you, then this could be saying, despite the fact that you're working more and have less time to spend with Mew, especially if the 3-month trip is cancelled or not happening, don't let this get you down. Because if you do let it get to you, it basically, this card is like saying you're going to be the one who's going to make the ship sink, not what's happening around you. So, if you want to see it that way, then it'd be like, just focus on work, trust in whatever this love or relationship is that you think you have with someone, whether that be Mew or someone else. Make sure that you word out your feelings and let them know how you feel, so that you don't end up with a broken heart. And believe in the impossible, basically. Alright, so that's for Tool. Just thinking, let me take a screenshot of that Tools card so that I have that. Alright, and then I'll pack them up. I don't really want to leave the cards there. While I'm drawing for the other two. Alright, so Buddha Wisdom, please give us advice, or please give me Superset advice in 3 cards or more for what has been revealed today through his cards. He's obviously confused or lacking clarity about something to do with his love life, or even to do with his new relationship found with Sunny, maybe. Please give him some advice for the rest of the month of how to battle this uncertainty, supposedly. That's just one, isn't it? Yep. 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards, please. Buddha Wisdom. Advice for me Superset for the rest of the month of July. Thank you. Alright. First off, we have Do good for other, it will come back in unexpected ways. Next we have this one, and it's the positive one. Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. And this is a positive one, because remember I've said I have two of these. One is marked negative, one is marked positive. So this is the more positive one, which would possibly be related to him having his spiritual awakening. So changing his thinking. And then this last one, to cure suffering, free yourself from attachment. Attachment is the source of all suffering. Oh my goodness. Doesn't that really click in with the idea that, Mew is only still connected with the other situation because of he can't detach himself. He's hesitating to detach himself from all that luxury living, that money, that possible traveling lifestyle with Tool. Or it could be the other way around too. It could be that he's struggling to let go and detach himself completely from Gulf as well. Maybe, he's not ready to let go of all the fans who are still holding on by a string. Maybe he's not ready to let go of Gulf entirely either, because he still hopes deep down that they will work together again or be able to have a reunion again one day. So Buddha says, do good for others and it will come back in unexpected ways. To me, that's like work. So Buddha's saying, focus on your work, continue focusing on your work, think positively, and continue to try to detach yourself from all the materialism you have in your life right now, all the things that are making you suffer, that are weighing you down, that are limiting you. Just detach. Okay? And then finally, Gulf. Buddha Wisdom, please give us, that was quick, 3 cards or more for Gulf Kanawat regarding what has been revealed today with his cards. Some big move or big change happening in his life. A possible decision to break away or to close the door on something that may result in another door opening very soon afterwards. What is your advice for all this? If Gulf is really, as I said, deciding to let Mew go, and then this may trigger Mew into his spiritual awakening, what is your advice for Gulf during all this? What is your advice for Gulf during all this possible decision making, possible move ahead or move on? Okay. Similar to last month. Do this one first because it was the first one revealed. Be selective in your battles. Sometimes peace is better than being right. So to me that really does sort of feel like Gulf saying, I've had enough. I know we're meant to be together, but I'm sick of fighting for it on my own. You sort your life out first and come and find me if things change, possibly. And the next one. This one, at some point you have to realize that some people can stay in your heart but not in your life. Again, this is like if he really is going to try and cut it off with Mew for good. This would be what he's thinking as well. Or it could also be related to, as I said, maybe the idea of he'd have to sort the wood from the chaff regarding his fans. Could be that too. Or the sudden restrictions he may get if he chooses his love life over work. And then thirdly, if you have to choose between being kind and being right, choose being kind and you will always be right. So I suppose this is again, you know, the last month's reading, remember it was talking about a possible breakup coming, and we were saying, you know, Gulf is not going to say anything, he's going to remain silent, like we should, if possible news of a breakup comes out. He's going to choose his battles wisely, choose to remain silent, choose to, even if he knows what he says would be right, he's not going to say it. All these three cards kind of point to that as well. So it's possible that, on the other hand, there's going to be a sudden change, a sudden cut that's for the better, for MewGulf in particular, and he's just going to have to control himself about, you know, not going out and saying, I told you so, or something like that, you know. Not looking so happy about a breakup. Us Waanjai too. Again, I can literally pair us up with Gulf in this regard, you know, us too. We have to be selective in our battles and not rejoice over a breakup, but wait until there's something actually to celebrate, which will be the reunion. News of a reunion. Alright, after that, well, last time I did, didn't I? Maybe I should do 3 cards for Waanjai again. So during this month of July, what should Waanjai keep in mind? What is your advice for Waanjai, fans of Mew, Superset and Gulf, Kanawat together? What is your advice for Waanjai this month? Buddha wisdom regarding all we've found out today. What Mew may be going through, what Gulf may be going through, what even Tool may be going through. What is your advice to us? Whoop, too many. What is your advice to us, Buddha wisdom? In 3 cards or more, please. 1. Won't be surprised if we get something again like, you know, something along the lines of focus on your life, because that's what we got last month. And it's very true, guys, you know, while we are fans of MewGulf, it's not our life. We have another life away from all that fandom interaction, and we shouldn't have to be reminded to focus on it anyway. Okay, let's get this up. Again, this could be also preparing us for the other way things may go. If you can't do anything about it, then let it go. Don't be a prisoner to things you can't change. So, this card, are we in control of MewGulf's life? Absolutely not. Are we in control of the outcome of what's going to happen? Absolutely not. So, you know, I've kind of already done this to a degree. I mean, I am reading for them, yes, but in the way of complaining about things, or like I did in the early days, used to go and beg them to, you know, reunite or clear the air about the truth between them or something. I don't do that anymore. I was like, you know, it's your life, you deal with it. I'll just sit here and watch. Kind of. Then second we have, so Mew got the positive one of these, Gulf has the negative one. Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are, it solely relies on what you think. You see the negative there? So, hang on, we're not doing golf, it's for us, isn't it? Silly me. No, okay, so this is talking to the fans who can't handle it then. This is talking to the fans who can't handle the happenings right now regarding the other two, the business partners. It's saying, you know, you can be happy with what's going on if you change the way you think. So for those who are thinking it's that they've been betrayed, or thinking that MewGulf are over, that there's nothing left for them, that they miss them so much, well, you know, you're making yourself suffer then. On the other hand, if you still have hope and belief in MewGulf reuniting one day, if you believe like me and others that there is still something going on in secret, behind the scenes, whether that be full-on love or just a friendship that they don't wish to or cannot, like are forbidden to show to the public, you know, that's a happier, more positive way of thinking. Or if you even go deeper, like with me, you just open yourself up to all the possibilities and just remain open-minded to any outcome. That will also help you to not be depressed about what's going on. Alright, and then lastly, this one. If you always think of blessings, you attract more blessings. If you always think of problems, you attract more problems. Always keep good thoughts. What did I just say? Think positive. Think positive. Yes. Alright, well, I think that's it then. That's good advice for Waanjai, you know. You can't do anything about it. We're not in charge. So if you can't handle it, step away. Think positive and stop thinking about the problems. Don't let it weigh you down. Don't let it cause you to fall into depression or anything like that over somebody else's life decisions, because things can change. More than anything else, you want to say that things can change. We have 2 years now where things could change drastically. And, you know, Mew saying 2 years before he gets married may not even be marrying the same person that people think anymore. 2 years could be because Gulf has suddenly also said, I don't see myself getting married anytime soon. But then he did, before that, he said he still saw himself, you know, he still wanted to get married and have kids at the age of 35. So, yeah, anyway. Alright, so that's it, guys. I think I'll leave it at that for today. Next reading will be... Next reading will be on the 28th, I believe. And we will be doing the monthly check-ins then. So I'll catch you then. In the meantime, take care. Waanjai on. And don't let all the stuff on the social media and everything get to you. Like even that interview. You need to watch it. You need to watch it with an open mind that it may not be what we believe, but it also may not be what the world is believing either. you know. There's really no clarity to what's being said and what's being done and what's being seen. So not even worth dwelling on that much for people in general. For someone like me who's doing readings, it's kind of part of the reading. I have to think about it a lot. But for someone just in general, you don't even need to think about it. You don't even need to give it your time. You don't. And you don't need to support it. You don't need to follow it. I hardly watch the material itself anymore these days. There's just no point. And I'll say another thing. The reading I did the other night for in the private group for when will MewGulf have a reunion of any kind, I was just burning with this warm feeling the whole reading. Like it was a very, very positive vibe in that reading. So, but funnily enough, it was discussing the possibility of a breakup with the other two. But it was still saying, you know, positive for MewGulf, not so much for the other two. And somehow all the way through that reading, I was just burning up. I was just feeling this warm feeling inside me regarding the future of MewGulf. So let's just stay positive and see what happens. Alright then. Oh, and also guys, I am still working on the translation for the check-in for the business partners, the last reading. I'm still working on that. I'm also still working on the grand tableau that I keep referring to and discussing. It's not going to get out. It's not going to get out probably before its time, which the reading, I did it in February. And it was for like the next 6 months. So February, March, April, May, June, July. I don't think it's going to get out in time. So it's probably going to get out after the 6 months. Let me know if you still want to see it though. To reflect back on what's happened. I mean, I've been referring to it enough in other readings. So I think for that reason I still need to share it with you. But yeah, unfortunately time's caught up with me and I haven't been able to get it out before the time's up. So, yeah, like it'll be kind of due for me to do another one by then, I'm thinking. Anyway, let me know what you think and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye guys.